The objective today is to learn how to find the midpoint between 2 points on a coordinate system. So to find the midpoint between 3, 4 and 9, 8, let's do this graphically first. So over 3 up 4, that point. Over 9 up 8, that point right there. Halfway in between looks like that point right there. So that point would be over 6 up 6. Let's see if we could find that mathematically. The difference between 9 and 3 is 6. So the distance between the two x's is 6. So half of that is 3. So if I start at 3 and go 3 more towards 9, then that would be 6. And 8 minus 4 is 4. Half of 4 is 2. So if I start at 4 and go 2 towards 8, so these 2 points for x and y match what we found graphically. So if the numbers are not large or difficult, you could do them on a graph paper. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 8. Halfway between there looks like 3, 5. Let's see if it is. 5 minus 1 is 4. Half of 4 is 2. Going from 1, going 2, starting at 1, is 3. That's our x. And then our y is our other point. 8 minus 2 is 6. So that distance is 6. Half of that distance is 3. So starting at 2 and going 3 towards 8 gets me to 5. 3, 5. Yes, that is what we found graphically. 6, 2, 2, 4. Looks like halfway is that point right there, which is 4, 3. Let's see mathematically. 2 minus 6 is -4. Half of -4 is -2. So if I start at 2, if I start at 6 and go back 2, that would be 4 from our x. And if I do 4 minus 2 is 2, half of 2 is 1. So if I start at 2 and go 1 towards 4, so that would be 4, 3, and that's what we found graphically. Let's jump ahead to one that has a negative in it. So -3, 3 would be that point right there, and 7, 8 would be that point right there. Well, it looks like the point halfway in between, well, I'm having a little hard time figuring out what that is graphically. Let's figure it out mathematically. 7 minus -3. Well, subtracting the negative is the same as adding. So the distance between -3 and 7 is 10 in the x direction. Half of 10 is 5. So if I start at -3 and go 5 towards 7, then that will get me to 2. So 2 is for the x, and for the y, 8 minus 3 is 5. Half of 5 is, half of 5 is 2.5. So the distance between 3 and 8 is 5. Halfway is 2.5. So if I start at 3 and go 2.5 towards 8, that gets me to 4.5. So that's my y. Over 2, up 4.5, 4.5. Wow, that doesn't look quite right to me. Oh, I started at 3, so I have to add a 3 to my 2.5, and I get 5.5. So it goes up 1 from there. So over 2, up 5.5. That does look like it's in the center right there. So be careful with the negatives. Maybe drawing a picture will help you know that the distance between a negative and a positive is further than just the distance between the absolute value of the numbers. So that's how you can find the midpoint between 2 points. You can do it graphically, you can do it mathematically.